Southern California's Smart Talk. 870 KRLA.
Success Power Unlimited is sponsored by Unique Resources on Smart Talk 870 KRLA.
And now, stay tuned for the most powerful wealth-building show in America, Success Power Unlimited. This is the show where Americans can exercise their right to be rich and take home the money tips they need to succeed. And now, live from Los Angeles, your host, G. Edward Hunt.
Welcome to Success Power Unlimited. This is a radio talk show all about you, how you can achieve your goals and your dreams. Our mission? To give you the tools that empower you to live an extraordinary life, to help you find your financial freedom, to be rich, to find personal success and happiness, and that means success on your own terms. Hi, friends. I'm your host, G. Edward Hunt. Thank you for tuning in, and thank you for being here tonight. And tonight, we've got a fantastic show. This is an amazing story that I want to tell you. It's the story of J. Hamilton Parker, and he really is a fantastic example of what is possible. And just a couple of years ago, after the real estate and financial downturn, J. Hamilton Parker was left out of a job, out of money, and 5 hungry mouths to feed. And at the age of 46, J. Hamilton Parker had to start all over again. So he and his wife, Roz, they pulled themselves up by their bootstraps and took control of their future and started their own home-based business. And with virtually no money at all, but with some focus, a lot of dedication to his principles and follow-through, J. Hamilton and Roz Parker have been earning a multiple six-figure income, and they've created a massive team of members in the U.S., Canada, South America, and the United Kingdom, and they did it all in record time. And when I first heard the story about J. Hamilton and Roz Parker and what they have accomplished, I knew I had to have them on my radio show and share their incredible story with you. J. Hamilton Parker, it is a pleasure and an honor to have you on Success Power Unlimited. Welcome to the show.
Hey, Ed, thanks for having me.
Oh, it is a pleasure to have you here. And I want to get started right away and really dig into the whole story. And can you tell me exactly how it all started for you guys?
Well, as you mentioned, 2007, for us, the writing was on the wall. We took a family cruise. And we came back in the front end of 2008. It just all broke loose. And so I pretty much knew that that year was not going to be like any other. And of course, my gut feeling was correct. And my income was wiped out overnight. And it didn't have to happen that way for my wife, but the following year it was so for her. So. It was just devastating. And we were introduced toward the latter part of 2008 to a network marketing opportunity, to a home-based business opportunity. And just clearly by chance, a friend of mine invited us out for a presentation. I'm sure there's many people that are listening in, and they get the same sort of invitation, and they just kind of brush it off as something that's not important. But I thank God that we took advantage of it.
Wonderful, wonderful. You really have achieved a lot of success and great success in such a short amount of time. What were some of the main factors that got you there, you think?
Well, the first thing, Ed, I want to say is, it wasn't just, my wife and I. I mean, we've got a huge team. My dad always told me that if you want to be successful, you have to surround yourself with people who are better than you are. And that's exactly what we did. I mean, we've got some amazing people on our team. I mean, we've got, business owners, we've got pastors, we've got singers, we've got housewives, we've got people that are just from all walks of life, right? Success coaches. And it just became a melting pot, right, of all of these talents that came together just like the Big Bang Theory, right?
Wow.
And created this success for us. So, I attribute our success really not just to ourselves. Of course, we had to reach out initially to these people,
right?
That were friends or associates, right? But we didn't do it all by ourselves. I mean, and I'd be lying to you if I said, yeah, it was just us, right? We've got a great team, for sure.
And so you had some role models and mentors that helped you along the way as well?
Well, absolutely. there's a few people here in Charleston that, and that's why I live, Charleston, South Carolina. There's a few folks here, man, that are just, fantastic. And when we got involved with the business, I mean, they just, reached out and helped us out. We've got, Dr. and Priscilla Robinson, and there's, Helen Delahousse. And when I say the Charleston team, I mean, I've got so many people here that just attributed to our success. And it was really ground zero for what was to come, and then it just mushroomed. I mean, the initial teams were in Tennessee and, Georgia, Atlanta, Detroit, Michigan, Orlando, North Carolina. Wow. Just all over, the West Coast. I mean, it just started to pop like popcorn, as I say, right? And it just really took off like wildfire.
Wonderful. So you were able just to kind of draw in these people along the way, I take it then, is how it happened for you?
Well, Ed, I don't really want to, I don't want it to make it sound like it was just like, hey, how you doing? Want to join? Sure, let's go out and make this money. No, it wasn't that way. It was a lot of hard work and elbow grease.
Right.
The folks that joined, of course, they were dedicated, but then we had to motivate and mold and really create opportunity within the ranks. And that took a lot of getting on the road. It was work, just like anything else. And and one thing that I'll say as well is that we worked so hard on the job, right? And we put all that we have into these companies. And I'm not knocking anyone that works a job, right?
Right.
I watched my parents work, great jobs and do great things. It just didn't seem to me that when they were at the end of that time with that company, 30 plus years, right, that the company should have given them more than just a handshake and a gold watch and a pension that literally was below the poverty line. So, most Americans, can't have to continue working.
Right.
And so, I was just fortunate enough to be around. I had great mentors. My parents were, fantastic mentors for me. We never had a moment where we were without, right? And, I can even remember after my father retiring, he always had money in his pocket. He was always making something happen. They just drilled a very strong work ethic into it.
Wonderful. So, I want to shift gears a little bit here because I've been hearing a lot of buzz about this thing that's called the shift, and you seem to be at the center of this thing. So, can you tell me a little bit about that?
Okay, it's interesting that you asked that question, and let me just say this right off the bat. There is this realization that I've come to at this point in my life that we as human beings on this earth are literally merged with another world, an automatic world. I call it the humatic shift, right?
Wow.
Someone told me I created a new word, okay? But the humatic shift is this. We have become so interdependent on technology, and it literally transcends every level of our life where, give you an example, you could, I remember my dad had a Chevy Nova, right? And that Chevy Nova, he could tune it in the driveway.
Right.
You can't you can't do that now, right?
That's true.
You had a Chevelle, right? Back in the day, you had the muscle cars, right? But you can't do that today because they're 99% computers, right?
Right.
And so the thing for us as we look at our economy and we look at all the political unrest and all the back and forth, right? In the middle of that is this technology shift. Yeah. And the thing that's so unique about this humatic shift is that humans are very slow to catch on and very slow to change. And so as we look at this world with social media, with text messaging and email and, just all sorts of different ways and varied ways to communicate, the constant that remains is the old-fashioned way of making money, which is person to person, human to human, right? But so many people have moved within it and without it. And so we're really in a mode right now. This humatic shift actually demands that we participate in it. Okay, we don't have a choice. It's this pulse of energy that's ever growing, and we are swept up in it. And those that will not submit to the power of the shift are going to be left behind.
Yeah. When you mention that, when you say you're swept up, I think of a wave, right? A wave of activity. Would that be a great way of describing it, you think?
Well, I would say so. Here's an example, right? You got millions of retirees getting their Social Security checks, right?
Right.
They've worked their whole lives. They've earned that money, correct? What are they accustomed to getting every month? They're accustomed to getting a check, correct? Right? Well, here's the thing. The government is issuing debit cards, right?
Yeah, yes.
The electronic cash, right?
Yes,
so there was this sense of security. I got my check in hand, right? As long as I've got my check in hand, I'm good. But now I've got to submit to the shift that says, no, we want to reduce the amount of paper, the amount of fraud under the guise of security,
right?
And we're going to issue it to you in a card. Well, they're not asked if they want to participate or not.
Right.
They must.
Yeah.
It's an unwilling participation for many, but you must give in to the power of the shift. You have to.
Yes, exactly. So you see that same thing happening in our life in total, like in terms of business and everything else? Is that what you're saying exactly?
Well, absolutely, Ed. Now here's the thing. I use an iPhone, right? And of course, I'm not getting an endorsement from the Apple Corporation, right? I'm not a paid spokesperson, but here's the thing. The moment a new Apple device is launched, people literally fall out of their chair, they run out of their homes, they speed down the freeway, they'll wait overnight just to take advantage to put this new piece of equipment contained within the shift in their hand. And so with the and of course I have one. You can do practically everything from banking to faxing to checking your email. There's programs and apps, as they call them, right? Applications. And so all of these things that they have now created a need for. We got to check our email. We got to check our social media sites, right? Now the need is upon us. Okay, but here's the thing: the demographic for that need is as young as 5 and 6 years old now. Right. Yes. So they are permanently installed within the shift. They have to participate just as a way of communicating or bridging the gap between their peers, if you will.
Yes. Yeah. Exactly.
So absolutely, sure.